Welcome to 1 Million Cups. We've got lots of seats up front. If you're still working on your coffee or your chai, please come on up. Who's here for the first time? Welcome. Welcome. And I see a lot of regular faces. If you're a regular, raise your hand. Love to see you. Excellent. Well, my name's Brian Azorski. This is Melissa Roberts and Jason Kerrigan, and we are your volunteer coordinators for 1 Million Cups. And 1 Million Cups is a weekly educational program where we bring two entrepreneurs in to share their story and their entrepreneurial journey. And today we have two excellent presentations ready for you. To get started, from the fleet, we have Stephen House and Ari Crane. Come on up, guys.
Hi, I'm Stephen House.
And I'm Ari Crane.
We'd like to thank 1 Million Cups for giving us the platform and the opportunity to tell you about our business and our new app, The Fleet. We've got a couple slides for you to, or a couple questions up here for you to consider, and we will try to help you answer some of these as we go through our presentation. Our motto, observe, maintain, fix, compete, win, explains what we do. Observe your vehicle's performance and driver stats in real time. Maintain your car's health for optimal performance. Fix your ride in record time at a reduced cost. Compete in a series of automotive challenges and win serious prizes while saving time and money and extending the life of your vehicle and the environment.
Now let's start with a group participation exercise. I know it's a little early in the morning. Could everybody please stand up for me? Thank you. This will be fun. Now, continue to stand if you have both a modern mobile device and a vehicle that is 1996 or newer. That is to say, if you do not have a modern mobile device, and if you drive a classic vehicle, please take your seats. Thank you for standing. So I'm looking around, I see about 95% of the audience. We're going to show you today how the Fleet app is going to save each and every one of you that is standing right now hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars every year while extending the life of your vehicle and saving the environment. You may take your seats. Now, I'm going to explain our market validation for you. The International Organization of Motor Vehicle Manufacturers lists approximately 50 million cars produced every year since 1996. So if you go back 18 years, that's approximately 900 million personal vehicles that have been put on the road. I'm excluding the 20 million service vehicles that are made every year that also have the onboard diagnostic. So of those 900 million cars, there are 1.75 billion smartphone users globally, or approximately 22% of the world's population. We've identified 800 million people globally with both a modern mobile device and a vehicle that contains an onboard diagnostic 2-port that's 1996 or newer. The EPA estimates that the average vehicle drives approximately 12,000 miles a year, consumes 500 gallons of gas, and produces 10,000 pounds of CO2 emissions. They have two classifications. Their other one is a light-duty truck or SUV, which they estimate drives 15,000 miles a year, consumes 750 gallons of gas, and produces 12,500 pounds of carbon-based vehicle waste a year. Later, I'm going to explain how we intend to save 2% off the top. That is to say, if we have those 800 million drivers, we intend to save 2% through our game.
Ari and I are about to show you how the Fleet app will change your daily interaction with your vehicle and how this closer relationship with your vehicle will help extend the life of it while saving you time and money, hundreds, perhaps $1,000 every year.
If we can have another group participation exercise, please. We'll make this fun. I'd like everybody to close their eyes. And imagine you're driving down the road and your check engine light shows up bright on your vehicle's dashboard. What's the first image that comes to your mind? For me, I'm concerned about my loved ones, whether or not they're going to be okay, which I don't know. I don't know, how they're driving, if they're broke down on the side of the road. For me, it's the image of my wallet draining. For me, it's time and money consumed waiting for a diagnostic.
Ching.
And it's finding out that my vehicle's issue is related to a much larger, costlier repair. Now imagine that image that you had in your mind. Imagine never having to worry about that ever again.
As a mobile app developer, I wanted to create an app that would change people's daily interaction with their vehicles. A lot of people I know, including myself, have had too many negative experiences with vehicle maintenance and repair. So I decided to build a platform that could be used with an affordable $25 Bluetooth diagnostic device that gives the least mechanically inclined out there the same power and information that a master mechanic uses. People are connected to their friends and to their home appliances. Now the fleet will connect you to your vehicle.
We felt that we can best engage our drivers by turning the everyday driving experience into a game. That's our competitive advantage. We're proud to be the first company that not only challenges our drivers through a series of competitions, but rewards our drivers for completing a series of challenges that are designed to enhance your driving skills, reduce your vehicle emissions, and extend the life of your automobile. Our app makes it easy to observe, maintain, and fix your ride in a record time at a reduced cost. Share your winning competitions with other drivers on the road and win some serious auto-related prizes.
We reward drivers for improving the relationship between their automobile and the environment. We help you make the road safer, more affordable, and much more social. We've got a short video to share with you.
The fleet rewards drivers for improving the relationship between their automobile and the environment. Our motto, observe, maintain, fix, compete, win, explains what we do. From your mobile device, you can observe your vehicle's performance and driver stats in real time. This allows the driver to maintain their car's health for optimal performance. And this allows you to fix your ride in record time at a reduced cost. Complete challenges, earn points, and win serious prizes. The fleet works by communicating with your car via a Bluetooth device that is easily installed under your car's dash. This instantly transforms your mobile device into an automotive performance manager, where you will have maintenance assistance, error diagnosis, and solution finder. Every time your vehicle's performance is improved, you will earn points. Win your competitions and trade in your points for serious rewards. The fleet streamlines vehicle maintenance, makes recommendations for enhanced driving, recommends vehicle upgrades, saves you time and money, reduces carbon-based vehicle waste, and earns you rewards for your improvements. We help you make the road safer, more affordable, and much more social.
Well, I hope that we've helped you answer those questions that we put up on the slide deck at the beginning of the presentation.
Now, earlier I was telling you about our 2% initiative, and this is something we're very serious about. So right now, there are 450 gallons of gas consumed every year by those 800 million vehicles. A 2% reduction would be 9 billion gallons of gas saved every year. There's also 9 trillion pounds, or 4.5 billion tons of CO2 released into the atmosphere on average by those 800 million drivers. So just a 2% reduction would be 180 billion pounds, or 90 million tons of CO2 that we can prevent from being released in the atmosphere. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, guys. We're going to open it up for questions. Nate's got a question in front.
I really like what you guys are doing. I actually have something similar for my car. It was a Kickstarter campaign for a product called Automatic, and it does not work very well. I think the Bluetooth and everything where, I think in theory, I think it's awesome. One of the things that I really like that you're doing is Automatic is just my relationship with my car, and that's it, and you guys are building in the social and the rewards. So can you talk about maybe addressing some of the other competitors in the space to start, but then could you talk about how you came up with the gamification, how do you make it social, how do you make it fun?
You want me to start this?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we've identified 4 competitors. There's Dash Mobile, there's Drive, and Google. There's an article that was recently released, both Drudge Report, ABC, NBC, and Fox within the last few months that talked about them getting into the exact same marketplace. Right now they're building vehicles that have these diagnostics included in them. So what we're really addressing is we're addressing 96 and newer that aren't built in diagnostics. Our nearest competitor sells the exact same device that we do. They're 4 times the cost, and they do about a third, you get about a third of the information. The average vehicle has 3,500 error codes. So in average 3,500 error codes, which ones do you choose to, which ones are gonna be the most helpful for you? So we've designed a platform where you can pick and choose. There's gonna be some suggestions, but you can pick and choose which error codes are best for your driving. And the game is tailored around you and your specific vehicle.
Yeah, and I'd like to handle that question a little bit as well. You know, we chose the name The Fleet. Might be slightly misleading, but it really is communicating what we're trying to say, that no longer is your vehicle you know, popping up just like an indicator. It's trying to communicate with you, but you know, you're having a breakdown in communication. And if anybody's ever gone overseas, then you might have experienced something very similar. So really what the fleet is trying to do is not just connect you with your vehicle, but connect your vehicle with other vehicles out on the road and essentially bring your car into the fleet.
In our game, we call the game My Fleet. So it essentially turns every driver on the road into a fleet maintenance manager, and you are essentially managing your own fleet. These are compatible with all devices that have a built-in OBD2. And the social aspect in the game and getting the real-time rewards, you could build for anything that you, essentially could be your everything from your Sea-Doo to, your jet ski, it could be your motorcycle, your ATV, your passenger vehicle, anything.
Got a question here in the center.
Okay. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Hey, so great idea. Obviously, there are some competitors out there. I actually happen to work in the wireless space, where I know that we've been doing some of this, in the commercial side for the last couple of years. I'm curious, if your primary audience that you're addressing is the commercial side, or the residential, and then secondly, how do you ultimately end up making money out of this?
Absolutely. Sure. Well, I will handle the first part of the question. So, could you restate that again? Sorry. Okay, so for personal versus vehicle, well, we're definitely starting out with a business-to-consumer relationship. In order to get into fleet or larger companies, obviously you've got to do the things at the base floor correctly before you can scale appropriately. And different than some of the companies that are servicing larger organizations, a lot of times you'll find that that the driver doesn't have that transparency in between, what their performance is, and it's just held at the business space. So really, kind of using a concept that's similar to biofeedback. If you're able to see what's happening to you in real time, then you're able to make decisions that can really change your behavior patterns, and kind of leading to our 2%. So we do have plans to approach a couple different verticals that are in the space. Ari, would you like to touch on that? And then
I think that the actual the fleet market is well taken care of by very established companies that have some of the companies I've looked at are hundreds of millions of dollars a year company, and we're not anywhere near ready to compete with that. So what Steven said is we are definitely in the consumer market. So just like that participation where there's 95% of everybody here still standing, the fleet's for you. It's for the everyday driver. It's for the everyday driver to look at their car's performance in actual real time, to be able to maintain their car's top performance. Your check engine light is a thing of the past. Before check engine light, we like to say that that's step 10. You'll be able to observe and see what's going on with your vehicle at step 1. Before it even gets to step 10. It will make recommendations to fix it in record time. You'll be able to save a ton of money. It'll never get to that expensive cost. So we're absolutely in the consumer market. And the second part of your question? So we have identified 5 different ways to monetize this. And just like I said, there's observe, maintain, fix, and that's what we've completed already. The compete and the win is what we are working on right now. So we've monetized the observe, maintain, fix, compete, and win. So there's a social aspect sharing where you can have an online buy points online. We call them wrenches. And let's say that you've earned enough wrenches to cover, let's say, 3/4 of your oil change, to be paid for, or you've earned enough wrenches to pay for, 25% of your brake job. So you can actually go online and you can purchase, if you need to buy maybe let's say 200 wrenches would set you back $1.98, and you could buy those online and you can essentially have an oil change for free or for $1.98.
Now, something that Ari did allude to, and going back to your prior question, so while we are consumer facing to start out with, on the compete and win, those are key points where we can get with local people in the automotive industry, perhaps mechanics. That's a segment that we're looking at, so that those mechanics can also provide that transparency. And we've got a set of things that we'll describe to them how that can aid them and actually build customer loyalty.
Absolutely.
Guys, we got a question over here to your left.
Great idea. First of all, love it. Can you describe a game or two, kind of some certain aspects of what would make it the gaming side of it?
Sure.
Absolutely. So we've modeled the game. It's very specific to your vehicle, and there's so many different types of vehicles out there. So to address the question that was over here, our competition, they don't have the game yet, but they're modeled to have a basic code. It doesn't fit every car. Their code is one size fits all. Ours is specific to the individual automobile, whether you're driving a BMW or you're driving a Honda. So one of the challenges based on that vehicle would be reduce your average weekly speed by 1/4 of 1 mile per hour. Is that something that you think everybody in the audience could do if you wanted to do that? I mean, 1/4 of 1 mile per hour. And then it progressively gets more difficult. Some of them are reduce your braking speed from 60 to 0 by a fraction of 1 mile per hour, and reduce acceleration speed, make so many complete stops in a row. And all these competitions are designed to enhance your driving ability, but also save wear and tear on your vehicle. And we're able to monetize that immediately and show you your savings in CO2, and show you your savings in fuel economy and wear and tear on your vehicle.
And so we're also looking at something I think is kind of interesting, the capability for example, for me to challenge my fiance. So while there will be some that will be, most of the competitions, and at least to start with, are going to be put on by us, we're also looking to have that so that you can, kind of like in the fitness challenges that are happening recently, you can challenge somebody else, and then perhaps there's a wager of wrenches or something but we're looking to expand the compete part as we go forward.
Good question.
We've got a question in the back, right here.
Hey guys, so I have car insurance from Progressive, and they have a device that similarly plugs into your car and gives you all these analytics. But like Nate mentioned previously, a lot of this depends on the success of the device and how well it works. So can you talk a little bit about the device itself, manufacturing, pricing maybe, just to give a feel of how much this will cost and how well this will work?
So we've identified 2 different devices, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. These devices that we buy, that in turn we resell, we don't manufacture the device. So, but there are 2 different devices. One covers about 80–85% of all the vehicles on the road, and the other device covers the other 15–20% of the vehicles on the road. So the cost is $25. In our nearest competitor, Drive, Dash Mobile, and Google, they sell the exact same device for $99. So, it's something that we're able to deliver the exact same performance for a fraction of the cost of our nearest competitor.
We have a question back in the left.
Hi, I'm just wondering, is this a programmer or a reader?
Okay, to address that, well, we've got big goals. We'd love to do a lot of things. We'd love to transform every single way that you drive and your interactions with your vehicle, as we've stated a couple times. Specifically at this point, this is a reader. So everything is, we are reading and we're doing calculations based on that. I kind of like to look at this as the angel and the demon. We've got energy savings and efficiency on one side, and then as you've indicated, there's a good customer segment for performance. So we do aim to go to where we can program, but that's got an additional set of complexities that we'll have to address.
I think that probably like by our 3rd or 4th iteration of scaling the business up, I definitely think that we're going to be, it's natural to have a performance option. So.
Okay, we got a question here in the front for you.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I'm playing a little bit here. I'm going out in my car early in the morning. My mechanic brother has installed my $25 device. It took him 30 minutes. Would that be about right?
No, you can install it yourself. It would take one second.
I like that.
You literally, just like the video showed, you can literally plug it right underneath.
Plug it in, all right.
Most people don't even know it's there.
In the congressional mandate that made this mandatory for 96 or newer vehicles to support this, they also mandated that you've got to be able to reach it from your
Bluetooth picks it up. Okay, so I'm going to start my car and I'm going to get my smartphone out and look at the screen. I think I need to have my brakes checked. Is that going to tell me that?
Okay, let me handle that. No, that will not. No, that will not handle that. Your brakes don't send information through the computer
Okay,
system.
so it's mechanical devices within the car.
Yes, or things that communicate with
My
the
generator
onboard.
isn't working, something like that.
Anything electrical that your car has control system.
And then talk a little bit about the tools. I bought all the wrenches. Can I go to the Nissan dealership and cash in my wrenches?
It depends. If we make an agreement with them, we're not at that stage yet. We're getting close to there. So if we make an agreement with your Nissan dealership, essentially we want to take the diagnostic segment of the automotive industry, which is just the diagnostic, will cost you $100, $120 depending on what car you drive. Those are going to be obsolete. We want to make those completely obsolete. There'll no longer be a need to overpay for your vehicle diagnostic. And you will be able to, normally if you take it to AutoZone or if you take it to O'Reilly, they'll give you a free diagnostic, but they spit out a code. And the code isn't translated into English that everybody can understand. So we make it easy to understand. So you pretty much mount your phone on your dashboard, on the mounted device, and you're able to drive down the road and see exactly how you're driving, and it gives you feedback on your performance, and if you choose to change your performance or enhance your driving ability, you can enhance it. You can save gas mileage, like I said, reduce carbon waste and everything else.
We have a question here in the back.
Hi guys, Nate Allen from Proof. First of all, thanks for coming and presenting. Really cool stuff.
Thanks, Nate.
So this regards the compete part of the product. Do you believe there's a critical mass of users that you need for this to be valuable? And how are you going to acquire said critical mass?
That's something we are going to talk about when we are asked what 1 Million Cups can do for us. We are expanding, and we're looking for builders. We have a wireframe for an amazing game that's already built out, and we need to take that wireframe and translate it into an actual game, which we think will take us a month to 2 months. It shouldn't take that long. critical mass amount of users that we need, since we are just about to roll out the app and the game isn't finished yet. So we have a beta testing just for the observe, maintain, and fix. I think critical mass would probably be, I think it would be a good snapshot of a variety of different vehicles and a variety of different driving styles on the road. We haven't identified what that is, whether it's 1,000 or 10,000 drivers, but we'd like to get as many drivers as we can in Kansas City. So we can, this will be the jump point, so we can take this to other places.
And something that we haven't
concept.
had much time to talk about is the interface with the website. It's a robust social component. There's a lot of aspects of that as well. So here in Kansas City, having that group, that will be one of the places where we can share information. Thank you, good question.
We've got a question from the Twitter.
Yes, so we have some people streaming from Houston today. Hi, Houston.
Hi, Houston.
And they want to know, how do you safeguard vehicle and owner data from being compromised? This is potentially private information.
That's a very good question. I'm not sure the technically inclined of you that are in the audience, but you know, some of you might have heard something recently about Heartbleed, and that's addressing security at the core. So we know that your information is your information, and you should be able to access it. And I mean, whether it's Big Brother, we just don't. You need to be able to have that secured. So there's a multi-step method of security. One, as you do okay, so you can encrypt data before you store it. Also, when you're passing data from the app to the website, for example, you're going to make sure that you're using HTTPS and not just unsecured methods. So additionally, when you combine those two, you're added a level of security that wouldn't be present there before.
So I'm gonna put this in terms for people that are non-techs like myself. So we are going to safeguard any personal driver information. We're going to never share your information to big data. But already there are automobile manufacturers and car companies that are collecting and storing your data. That's how they're able to model for recalls and other things like that. So just like Farm Mobile, who was in here, I'm going to give a shout out to Farm Mobile, who was in here about a month ago. I was listening to Farm Mobile. Raise your hands if you were here for the Farm Mobile and you heard about the. Excellent. Okay, so there's a few of you. So Farm Mobile, it's essentially he was collecting data and sharing it and passing the rewards to the farmers. That's what we would like to do. If we collect the data, your personal information will be safeguarded. You can password encode your own, and then that information that we could potentially, that there's potentiality to sell just the aggregate information for to catch recalls on different cars in a faster manner, faster than ever before. We'll be able to essentially pass the savings on to our users.
And additionally, as we want to, we know that you're trying to get a resolution if you have an issue with your vehicle. So drawing a blank here.
That's right.
All right.
Another question?
We're going to ask the final question right now. Guys, you've got a couple hundred people here, plus people on the live stream. What can we as a community do for the fleet?
Thanks for the question, Brian. That's something that we actually thought long and hard about. And like I said, as we're expanding and as we're we're growing our usership in Kansas City and just about to launch our Observe, Maintain, and Fix, we would invite everybody here to join us to drive, just so we can show you and we can prove to you that not only does it work, but it really is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of money. You're going to be more informed about your vehicle. You're going to have the same information that a master mechanic has. So we are, like I said, we have the Observe, Maintain, Fix. With the proper support, we can build and launch My Fleet Game. So that's something we're looking for. We're also looking for drivers to use our app. We're looking for auto-related business-to-business relationships. That's to say, if you have a tire company, if you have a brake company, if you're a local mom and pop, we would love to see how we can work with you. We're looking for innovators, creators, and futurists. So we're looking for people that are really trying to project 5, 10 years out and look at the technology, because we definitely are. We're also looking for marketing gurus and sales professionals. When we scale up and we complete the game, we're going to definitely need to launch in a big way. So we're going to need some very talented people.
Great, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Okay, hi everybody. If you haven't already had a chance to get your hands on some chai, there's still some in the back, so please grab some before our next presenter gets started. But just a couple announcements real quick in the middle here. First of all, there's always a ton of stuff going on in Kansas City. For all the information about all the great events going on, check out the announcements that have been printed by our generous announcement sponsor, Media Head. And also, we should recognize the great sponsorship that we enjoy every week here at the Kauffman Foundation in terms of space and the coffee and tea that are provided by Thou Mayest and Hugo Tea. So we've got a lot of great people supporting our community here. A couple real quick things. There's some great opportunities that are available to all of you here this week. First off, Startup Grind, great event. It's going to be held at Crema Labs. And if you would like to get a half-price ticket, keep an eye on the 1 Million Cups Twitter feed for a link and use the code 1MC to get a discounted ticket to Startup Grind. I highly recommend it. And it's going to be with the head of Mobank. So if you're at all interested, check that out. Second, as you guys, I don't know if you guys have heard about this Google Fiber thing. Anybody? I don't know, it's kind of a big deal. But so as you might have heard, Google Fiber is opening up a survey for small business class service, which is really exciting. They're beta testing here in Kansas City. If you have a small business and you're interested in using fiber to support that, make sure you fill out the survey by this Friday. It's online, and again, we'll be tweeting that. There is a great conference coming to Kansas City next Thursday and Friday. It's called the Juicy Conference. How many of you have ever co-worked before? Anyone? A few people? Okay, cool. How many of you, if you're traveling, would you like to have an office to kind of crash at in another city? Awesome. Even more people? Okay, well, this is a great place to meet people to make that happen. So this is an international co-working conference happening here in Kansas City for the first time. It's an incredibly impressive thing. Tickets are like $500, but they're looking for volunteers who can get free admission. So it's a great, great networking opportunity, a great way to build some relationships with co-working spaces from all over the world. So the next time you're like backpacking through Europe, you'll have a printer. I know that's a problem that everybody faces all the time. But truly, it's a great conference and you ought to check it out. Again, we'll be tweeting more details. And then finally, Silicon Prairie News hosts the Big Omaha Conference every year. And I know we're all just like super excited about going to Omaha here in Kansas City. Just kidding. It's a nice place. But they're having a competition for one free ticket to Big Omaha. So it's a very, very complicated process. Follow these steps. Number one, do something nice for someone. I know that's hard. Just kidding. So do something nice, take a picture of it, tweet it at Big Omaha and Kauffman PIF. Oh, pay it forward. Sorry. And you could win a free ticket to Big Omaha. It's also another really expensive ticket and a great opportunity, especially available to 1 Million Cups through the Kauffman sponsorship. So thanks, everybody. We have another great presentation for you with Tim from Chai Me, and you've been drinking his chai all day. So welcome, Tim.
Hey, man, it's great to be back up here. It's been a while. I always enjoy getting up here. So thank you for spending your Wednesday morning here with us. I'm Tim Sylvester, founder of Integrated Roadways, and I'm going to do something completely different this morning. I'm going to pitch a company that isn't mine. So Chai Me is my girlfriend's company, Aisha Krishnan, and an unfortunate reality for a lot of entrepreneurs that are starting out is that they still have a day job. So she's having to punch the clock this morning and asked me to come in here and pitch Chai Me for her. So here we are. Chai Me is really about a community building exercise. It's about building relationships with the people that you care about over a cup of delicious chai. So I hope that as we're making a startup community here today, you had the chance to try some chai this morning. And I certainly hope you enjoyed it. So there's a kind of a secret origin story for Chai Me in that whenever Aisha came to the United States, like a lot of immigrants, she had, some homesickness. So her mom would send her care packages that included the family's traditional chai blend that Aisha basically grew up on. Every morning of her entire life, her mom would make this family recipe chai for her, and they would all sit around the breakfast table and enjoy it together. And when her mom started sending it here, her friends would just call her nonstop and just demand a cup of chai. And I didn't really like tea, I didn't really like coffee, so she would offer it to me, and I'd say, no thanks. But after a couple of weeks of smelling her making it for her friends and seeing how much they enjoyed it, I gave in and had a cup, and I was like, wow, this is really amazing. This is not what I thought whenever I thought chai. So one day, I asked her if I could have a cup of chai, and she says, well, my mom just sent me some chai the other day, and it's already all gone. I can't keep asking my mom to send chai. My friends want it so bad. I just keep running out. I don't want to say no to them, but at the same time, it's expensive for my mom to keep sending all this chai over here. So, as Johnny tweeted earlier, an entrepreneur looks for solutions, right? So she saw a problem in that she kept running out of chai. I saw an opportunity in that there was all of this demand for this chai that you couldn't get here in the United States. So we sat down and we did some searching, and we found some importers that could provide all the key ingredients. And basically I convinced her to set up a shop on Etsy. And she swore, nobody's gonna buy this, nobody knows what it is. Within 30 minutes, she sold out her entire stock. And to our surprise, to her astonishment, not a single one of her friends bought it. It was people from all over, not just the United States, but all over the world that were buying her chai. In fact, what I find hilarious is that some of the orders were from India. So the #1 search that shows up on our website is, what is chai? People are always saying, what is chai? Well, what you're having this morning is called masala chai. Masala chai just means spiced tea in Hindi. It's really that simple. It's black tea from Assam with milk, sugar, and some spices. And a lot of people call it masala spiced chai tea, which I find kind of repetitive, but whatever. Can't really change the way people talk about it. So it is so simple to make. One of the major searches on her website is, how do I make chai? Well, it's really easy. You put some black tea in some water with some sugar, however much you want. You boil it. When it boils, you add some milk, you bring it back to a boil, and then you filter it into a cup. It's really that simple. It takes about 5 minutes, if even that, to make a cup of chai for you and the person that you're sharing it with, because I insist that you share it with somebody. You're not allowed to sit down and drink chai on your own. That's just not how you do things. So it's really just that simple. Now, Chai Me is kind of a strange beast in the startup world because it is completely revenue driven. It's entirely demand driven. She only started selling chai because she couldn't afford to be the free tea shop anymore, right? And it's been 100% funded through sales on her website. She started this company with literally a package of chai that her mom sent her and a laptop to make the Etsy account, right? No investment at all, and all of the supplies that she's bought since then have been purchased with her revenues. It's incredible how this has happened. It's a true bootstrap company, and believe it or not, for the first 2 years that she was doing this, she was selling it in Ziploc bags. Seriously. Like just a Ziploc bag with 100 grams of chai in it, and let me tell you, customs didn't like that at all. So she has upgraded a couple times since then. First it was an Etsy page, then it was a terrible Flash website. But now it's a really nice WordPress, WooCommerce, PayPal amalgamation thing. And since day one, her chai has been top rated. You can't get a better rating. When she was on Etsy, she had 5 stars. She got 60% feedback from her customers. 60% of the people that bought it left feedback, and 100% of them gave it 5 stars. That's amazing. On Facebook, she's got 5 stars, 5.0. Nobody has ever left less than 5 stars. We've never really even had any complaints. The only time that anybody's ever said anything about the chai, they weren't making it right. Okay, she provides ingredients, or I'm sorry, she provides the recipe for how to make it the traditional way with every package, and we have always found if they didn't enjoy it, it's because they didn't read the directions. So it's not a piece of IKEA furniture, it's really easy to make. And she offers a double your money back guarantee. If you buy her chai and you have the slightest problem, she will give you twice the money back that you paid for it, shipping included. And you know what? Nobody has ever taken her up on it. So this is the website today. It looks a heck of a lot better than it did when it was a Flash website. And if you notice, she actually does call it chai tea, because if you can't beat them, join them, right? That's what people search for, so can't fight the crowd. 2 of the pictures are really, really nice. 2 of them look terrible. As you can probably tell, we're only halfway through getting the professional pictures done for her website here. Now, chai and tea in general have always been a popular product, but it's really been exploding over the last 20 years or so. You know, America went through this whole love affair with coffee, and Starbucks started buying tea companies. They bought Tezo in '99 for $8.1 million. They bought Teavana in 2012 for $670 million. It's a $90 billion global market. So she has a lot of potential with this company. But don't make her any offers. You know, we've talked about it. She's not going to sell. It doesn't matter what you offer, 5 million, 50 million, 100 million. She won't take your offer, so don't even try. Don't even try. So right now, she's running a Kickstarter campaign in order to kind of up the game a little bit. And this is all going back to the fact that it's totally revenue driven. You know, Kickstarter, you're not just taking money from people, it's an exchange. So right now she's working on getting retail packaging so that it can be sold in stores, you know, barcodes, the nutrition facts, all that nice stuff. Getting ready to launch in a couple of coffee shops, and working on making a syrup version so that mixology bars can use it. You know, we have a really amazing mixology culture here in Kansas City. We've seen a lot of demand from bars that want to make like chai teenies, what we call Goan chai. There's a state in India, Goa, which is kind of the Florida of India. And you just add a shot of rum to what you were having today, you got Goan chai. So, and hopefully her chai is coming soon to your cupboard. So this is her Kickstarter. It is so incredible. She launched it on Monday. And as of a few minutes ago, she has nearly 60% funded. 2 days and like 60% funded. So it's really incredible. According to KickTrack, she's going to hit way beyond what she was going for. So, you know, she's just over the moon with this. Now, I want to get out ahead of things here and tell you straight up what we need from you. First of all, what we really need from you is to drink all that chai back there. Please, we can't take it home, so finish it off for us. We need publicity, promotion, and mindless devotees, but we'll consider applications for minions too. Check out our website at chaime.com, chai-me.com, and like us on Facebook, Just Chai Me. Follow her on Twitter at Just Chai Me, and share and tweet her Kickstarter, please. And that's really the #1 thing that you can do for her today, is to share and tweet her Kickstarter. One thing that I think she could really use, though, is a good AdWords person that doesn't charge an arm and a leg, because everybody wants like $5 grand a month, which is crazy. But anyway, so that's kind of the long and the short of Chai Me. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the chai today, and we have kind of a special treat here. She sent in a bunch of single servings. Not really single servings. This is something you should share with your friend. But if you had the chai and you liked it, if you want to try it at home, or if you just want to take this to give to somebody that you care about so that they can try it, I've got a bunch of samples up here, and please just ask me. We're more than happy to share, and I hope you take all these home too.
Thank you, Tim. We're going to get some questions in here for you. Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Got a question from the Twitter.
Sorry, this is actually a question from the live feed from someone live streaming. We don't know from where.
Hi.
Hello, headless person from the live feed. So their question is, we see that you give away your recipes on the website.
Yes.
Isn't that part of your secret sauce? How does that affect kind of your brand?
You know what? Actually, you have to have the recipe because you can't make it if you don't have the recipe, right? So probably a third of her traffic to her website is people saying, how do I make chai? And so by giving people a variety of recipes, she gets the traffic and then hopefully converts that to a sale.
Got a question here to your right.
Good morning. My name is Dion from the Kansas City area. Quick question: is the chai actually organic, and are you using alternatives such as almond milk and things of that nature for vegans, so forth and so on? And then also with your, I guess you said the mix that you're trying to go with the within the corporations or the companies, is that going to contain high fructose corn syrup or things of that nature?
Okay, so first of all, no, the chai is not organic yet. And the major reason for that is because organic is very much an American concept, and we're using ingredients imported from India. One of the reach goals for her Kickstarter is to go to India and to work with the suppliers to get them organic certification. But frankly, organic certification is just not nearly the thing in India as it is here. That doesn't mean that it wouldn't qualify as organic. It just means that the suppliers haven't gone through the process yet. Okay, now, as for milk alternatives, a lot of people are lactose intolerant. A lot of people just don't take milk. So our customers over the last year or two, they've told her that they've tried it with almond milk, soy milk, hemp milk, rice milk. Basically, if there is a milk alternative, it will work just fine in the chai as a replacement, whether you're making it hot or cold, so no problem at all there. As for the high fructose corn syrup question, her and I have talked about this, and she wants to use, the syrup has to be sweetened, right? So sugar, white sugar, cane sugar is a controversial, but yeah, it's natural. It's not really a processed food stuff like high fructose corn syrup is. But anyway, if and when she goes to the syrup option, her intent is to use white sugar or, if possible, an alternative sweetener like maybe stevia or something. But frankly, she's just not to the point of making that choice yet. But I can tell you straight up that she has no interest in using corn syrup. That's not how you make chai in India, and that's certainly not how she wants to make chai for all of you.
Hey, Tim, we have a question for you here in the back. Oh, you already got hers.
Tim.
Hey.
Okay, I came back in the kitchen earlier, and I just want everyone to know this. Tim was making the chai 2 cups at a time, which was awesome because it shows how dedicated you are to getting it right and doing it perfectly. So thank you for all that. And then I think this is a really interesting story because I asked you about when I found out that you were helping with Chai Me. I was like, well, what does that mean for integrated roadways? Because, and then we talked about it. You said, well, we have these, the business is doing well, but it's got these long sales cycles. So your girlfriend and you guys teamed up to start something that has short sales cycles. So can you talk about just that and the reality of having 2 different businesses that are serving 2 different purposes?
Sure. Well, just to make things real clear, Chai Me is her business. I help her with it. I have a little more experience with entrepreneurship. I give her guidance, and I do give her a couple hours a week of actually directly helping her. But really, it's her own thing. She's built it pretty much on her own and doesn't really like me to butt in. So I do integrated roadways, which, as Nate mentioned, has an extremely long sales cycle. It takes 18 months to get a project. It takes 3 years to finish a project. And, things are going really well for integrated roadways. We have about 10 miles of pavement that is going to be coming out here for precast in the Kansas City area, which is almost 20% of all of the precast pavement ever put to bid since 2000. So the reality of it is that helping her takes up some nights and weekends, and I spend a couple hours during the week. But frankly, it's her business. So, yeah. Thank you for asking.
We have a question over here to your left.
So I've noticed a couple times that when someone has an idea that they don't know is a business, and someone else comes in and says, hey, you should sell that, sometimes they'll do it for the moment and they're not really on board. So has she become on board now and is totally okay with growing and looking towards the future? Is this more of a weekend thing for her and it'll fizzle out when she kind of cares less about it?
Well, that's a great question. Actually, she did stop selling chai at one point because it got so big for her that it was a balancing act between her day job and Chai Me. And that lasted for about a week and a half because her customer demand was outrageous. Somebody actually looked up her phone number through Whois, for her website registration and called her nonstop until she agreed to send them a bag of chai. So she has been strong-armed back into it already. And I can tell you, absolutely, this is what she would prefer to do. She was really against making a business out of this whenever she first started out, because she tells me, my parents sent me to the United States to be an engineer. If I wanted to be a chaiwala, I could have stayed in India. Well, let me tell you, her perspective has changed a lot. Now she sees this as a way to pursue her dreams without having to answer to a boss. And unfortunately, the reality is for a lot of entrepreneurs, especially immigrant entrepreneurs, it is a heck of a road to being able to work full-time on your business. She's just not there yet, but I can tell you that the very day that it's possible for her to do that, that's exactly what she wants to do.
Got a question here in the center for you, Tim.
Kind of piggybacking off of the organic concern, has she received any sort of questions or any sort of concerns regarding the pesticides or any sort of use to grow the tea in Assam? Because I know that maybe the spices may not be organic, but how about growing the tea?
Yeah, we have had people ask about the use of pesticides and herbicides to grow the tea, and the most that I can say right now is that our suppliers for her chai are nationally recognized companies in India that have fantastic reputations. They've been in this business for decades. India has a 200-year tradition with tea and is extremely demanding with regards to chai. So again, even though organic certification isn't really much of a thing in India yet, these companies that are her suppliers are, very well recognized. Millions, if not tens of millions or hundreds of millions of Indians depend on these companies for their morning cup. So if there were a concern about pesticides and herbicides, I have a feeling that it would have been raised to our suppliers by now, and we just haven't heard that. We've had a couple of customers ask about it, but we've never seen any sort of large-scale, hubbub about the use of pesticides and herbicides. But again, one of the reach goals for her Kickstarter is to be able to go to India and to check it out for herself.
Got a question here in the front for you.
Hello, neighbor.
Hi.
Yeah, Babir with Royal.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm a little mad because we're next door to each other. You never offered me chai, so
I am so
we're gonna
sorry.
talk about that later.
Babir is across the hall from our offices, and you know what? Come over today. I got a bag with your name on it, and if there's any left back there, please help yourself.
My question to you also is that, do you face any kind of regulations from importing goods from India, or do you expect to, face any type of regulations when you import goods such as chai?
Yeah, all of her suppliers are currently importing through existing importers in California, New Jersey, that take care of all of the import requirements for her. And so then all she has to do is buy a product from them that's already been imported. Now, as her volume goes up, I am certain that she's going to face the issue of doing the importing directly. But I'm going to make sure that she doesn't mess with anything before she's ready to. It's not really up to me, it's her company, but I can kind of be stubborn at times, so yeah.
Tim, we have a question over here to your left.
So I love that this is actually an authentic recipe that's coming from India, and I'm wondering, first of all, do they drink chocolate chai in India? And also about the influence of American culture on her products, and if she does expand, where does she think she's going to go with that? Is she going to bend to the American culture and preferences, or is she going to try and stay as authentic as possible?
Well, this is her family recipe, and her mom knows what's going on, and I can tell you, if she tries to change the recipe, she's going to get a tongue lashing like you wouldn't believe. So I want to step back here and show you something traditional Hyderabad style. Okay, Hyderabad is the city that she's from, and the Hyderabad tradition is the chocolatey chai, right? And something that you should know, there's not actually any chocolate in that chai. All of the chocolate flavor comes from the tea and the spice blend. So that's really what's amazing about it, is that it has that, chocolatey richness without any chocolate in it. And that's totally a Hyderabad tradition, has been for I don't know when. I'm not Indian, I really can't say. So yeah, it has to stay authentic, because that's really the selling point that her customers love, is how true to the origin it is. Now, some of these guys, Tezo is a hippie company that sells an American garbage chai that tastes like, I don't mean to be insulting to our competitors, but I am. It tastes like somebody added vanilla and cinnamon to milk and then just kind of gave up and said, oh, that's good. But it's not good stuff. And it was founded in the 70s by some hippies that, as far as I know, there wasn't an Indian among them. And they just thought that the Beatles were cool, so let's make some quasi-Indian stuff. The authenticity of the recipe is the key selling point, and I can tell you she's not going to change that.
Tim, thank you very much. Before we go, I know you had your last slide up. Can you show us that again?
Yes, absolutely.
You did a great job showing us what we can do for you. And I checked out your Kickstarter campaign, and Tim really does have a girlfriend. And I mean...
Nate Allen, he's here. I don't know where he is. Yeah, there you are. He used to call her my imaginary girlfriend because he heard about her for a year before he actually met her. So she is real, promise.
She's lovely. So check out the campaign. You can see her. So anything else besides this we can do for you?
No, this is great. Just visit her website, like her on Facebook, follow her on Twitter, share and tweet her Kickstarter, and I tell you, she will be just overjoyed by any and all support that you show her. And please come up here and take all of these. You'll break her heart if I bring any of these home.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thanks for coming out. We'll be back next week with another 1 million cups. Have a good day.